Kat wants a private room. She's talking to Sanish about it. Wants a private and discreet room because apparently she thinks she broke Tomas's penis. Yo, here to talk about today's episode of Beyond the Gates, the October 23rd, 2025 Thursday episode. Honestly, I enjoyed today's episode overall. It's definitely the most enjoyable episode of the week so far to me. We still haven't reached like peak action, peak excitement this week compared to the Hayley reveal last week. But Hayley she was busy today. Hayley was starting the episode with Randy on the phone, talking to him about how she gave Bill his first dose of poison last night. Randy told her that she needs to be smart and slow about this. And Hayley seemed to agree because she hasn't found his life insurance policy yet and wants to make sure that that's all good for if Bill dies, she gets the money. Bill came into the room while she was on the phone. She played it off as Caroline was looking for a file. But turns out she wants to try and poison him again today. She's saying he looks rough because he was in his robe still, and she wants to pamper him and take care of him today, wants him to stay home from work. But then Caroline calls because Tomas is in the hospital, which we'll get to. But this is when Bill almost finds out that Hayley was not really talking to Caroline because he asked about the file. Hayley quickly snatched the phone away to talk to Caroline. But Caroline tells Bill that Tomas is in the hospital, so he ends up going to work, did not drink his drink with the poison in it. At work, Caroline is also concerned about Bill's health because, it's only been a few months since he had a mini stroke, so people have reasons to be worried about Bill's health. Once again, Bill was about to talk to Caroline about the file Hayley was looking for, but Hayley was listening in on their conversation with Bill telling Caroline that he has decided to focus on Hayley and completely forget about Danny, which Hayley likes because it keeps Danny out of her hair. And then Hayley interrupted before Caroline and Bill could have that conversation about the file she was lying about. But Hayley was really looking for a file. Hayley was hoping to find Bill's life insurance policy. Of course, Caroline, who was in her hair this entire episode, was interrupting again once she found the life insurance policy. She was also on the phone talking to Randy. Hayley was able to pull that off. Once again on the phone with Randy. Randy's trying to get Hayley to see she needs to take this slow so Bill's death looks like there's no suspicious cause. But Hayley wants to speed it up and hangs up with Randy and poisons Bill's cold coffee and convinces Bill to drink it, even though he wants to celebrate on a case with a stronger drink. And I'm sure Hayley will try and poison that stronger drink later too. So Hayley's plan to take out Bill is off and running, and so far she's now poisoned Bill twice and trying to speed up the process. We'll see how fast it goes because I don't think any of us expect Bill to die, but I do want to see, as I've been saying for the past week, how they're going to get out of this story, what it's going to mean for Hayley, what it's going to mean for Bill. And I'm definitely interested in where they're taking the Randy character. I would love for it to be a really good direction. Don't know if I have faith in the writing to do that, though. Then, in this episode, we have Kat and Tomas showing up at the hospital because Kat wants a private room. She's talking to Sanish about it. Wants a private and discreet room because apparently she thinks she broke Tomas's penis. Now, we haven't seen them since last week, I believe, when they were doing their hotel room fucking because Kat was hoping to make up their bad experience when they did not have a good sexual experience together. This time, though, it seems like they did a lot of experimenting, and somehow, some way, Kat really injured his penis. So Kat really must have been trying some wild positions. and had to tell Shanice all of this. I'm sure Shanice can help fix it all, though. We know Shanice is very good at what she does. And then Kat ran into Martin. I enjoyed their little conversation. Glad Kat apologized for missing his vow renewal with Smitty. And then Kat asked if he ever broke Smitty's penis. And so Martin was, I think, amused by all of this, talking about how Kat sure did make up for lost time. And then Tomas comes out of the room with ice on his dick because it's injured from whatever position they were in. And Kat says it's her fault for wanting to right their bad date and their bad sex from weeks ago. They get the news they can't have sex for 5 to 7 days. And, I guess this was amusing enough for me. Did not change my mind on how I feel about Kat and Tomas at all. And honestly, still makes me concerned about their direction for the Kat character in general. Like, I just think that Kat started as one of the best characters on the show. And now we got her in a story where she's injuring Tomas's penis. And I just think they could do better for Kat. I do, even though she's gotten on my nerves for a long time. I did enjoy that when Martin told Smitty about what happened between Kat and Tomas. He said that when Kat wants something, she really commits, which is true of what we know of the Kat character. She was definitely obsessed with bringing down Leslie there for a while, and now she does seem obsessed about making her sex with Tomas better. It would just be nice if the whole reason for her trying to make her sex with Tomas better was just because she's wanted to keep Tomas away from her half-sister Eva, and their sex together did not become enjoyable until he chose her over Eva. But, whatever. Martin and Smitty also had their sex in this episode. They have their couples very horny this month. We saw Anita and Vernon yesterday trying to get buck wild, and now today Smitty and Martin are talking about how their kids are going to college soon. They're going to have an empty house more often. They realize the house is empty today, so why not have some nice alone time? And they did. I was intrigued, though, by Smitty getting a call from the editor at the newspaper with a potential new interesting story. I've been saying since their vow renewal, I'm hoping we move Smitty and Martin into new directions on the show. I'm hoping this is a really good direction for Smitty with him investigating some new story. I hope it is a very interesting story so that Smitty gets an interesting story. I think Smitty deserves more interesting stories going forward. They've really had him just kind of revolve around Martin's stories, which was kind of a part of the story that Smitty was like letting Martin get his way all the time. Martin was kind of lying to him, controlling the relationship. And now Smitty's becoming his own man again, and I hope it makes for both an interesting story for him, but like an interesting story that he's investigating. So I'm intrigued by that. I hope the show doesn't let me down. And today we got our teens. We got our little teen story of the month. We have Samantha and Tyrell looking into colleges and what college they're hoping to be able to go into. We had June, of course, being the waitress because they're at Orphy Jeans discussing this. And Samantha apparently took a new photo to post online. She's hoping that the Nathan boy that she's interested in likes the photo, which he didn't right away. But by the end of the episode, he did. June and her talk about the dopamine hits that younger people have these days from having their photos liked online. And I guess we're building up to a Halloween party for the teens, which intrigues me. The teens don't get enough focus on the show for me to properly be invested. So I'm hoping nothing too crazy happens because it really hasn't been built up well if something too crazy happens at this Halloween party they're apparently going to. But by the end of the episode, it does look like Samantha and Nathan are going to go to the party. Then Jessica, who we haven't seen in a while, showed up at Orphy Jeans, and Tyrell was feeling some kind of way because they didn't have a very good ending because his insecurities got in the way of that relationship. But Samantha and June end up convincing him, since he still obviously cares about Jessica, to go talk to her. They end up talking about the French class that she's studying for, and the conversations go well, and it seems like they've agreed to go to the Halloween party together too. So glad we're getting some teen stuff at the end of this month. It's been a while that we've seen them be teenagers. I mean, this show kind of overdoes it with the way they talk as teenagers and some of the way they express themselves as teenagers. But we haven't got to see that for a while because they've been kind of caught up in the whole June story. So I'm looking forward to their more individual relationships. I've always kind of liked Tyrell and Jessica together, and no, I don't feel the same way about Samantha and whatever his name is. I just forgot it. Nathan, I want to say. Although we only saw them together in like one episode, so it's kind of hard to care about Jessica and Nathan at this point. But we know he has potential to hurt her or to pressure her into sex, which is where I could kind of see the story going. And I kind of hope not, because like I said, really not a good enough build to that quite yet, in my opinion. But overall, today was enjoyable for me personally. I'm glad the Hayley poisoning Bill story is really off and running, even though Hayley's being very sloppy about it. The Kent and Tomas stuff was something. It was something. And that was kind of the main stuff. We're getting a little teen stuff now. We'll see what tomorrow's Friday episode brings. Lately, they have not been bringing it on Friday episodes, which is, I feel like the day of the week you need to bring your best stuff so that people want to watch again on Monday. So really hoping for a strong Friday episode tomorrow, which we haven't got in a while.